Optique 2000 brings you the Optique 2000 Tunisian Rally.
The 1994 Tunisian Rally has turned out to be a highly successful event and one which has brought praise from many of the competitors. Hello, this is Ben Edwards, starting off with a look back over the past week before we discover the final outcome from today's last stage. Back on Wednesday we were into the third serious stage of the rally, and certainly the main front runners tending to stick together to try and get the navigation as easy as possible. Here we can see the two Citroens of Timo Salonen and Pierre Lartigue running together and running at the front of the field overall. Their teammate Hubert Auriol was at this stage tending to go his own way and setting the fastest times. Jean-Louis Schlesser there in the Buggy has been going well all week, and he in this brand new car that he's only just finished developing for this Tunisian rally, expecting to use it on other rounds of the Rally Raid World Cup as well. And he's had an excellent week, and at this point he was holding on to third place overall. Jérôme Rivière, however, not having such a good time. He's the other man in one of the two-wheel drive buggies, and he suffered suspension failure on Wednesday, and that set him back a long way in his attempts to try and beat Schlesser over this sort of terrain. And Jean-Pierre Fontenay in the T1 class, who had been going so well on Monday and Tuesday in his very, very standard Mitsubishi Pajero, well, that's where he really lost his chance of winning the T1 category, stuck in the sand dunes, and transmission problems as well for him. Well, the week progressed with the competitors going all the way through Tunisia, but sad news when Angelo Cavandoli, the former Italian enduro champion, was killed in a tragic accident just a few kilometers away from the end of the stage, and that led to the withdrawal of two of the front-running motorcyclists, both Heinz Kinni-Gardner of the Austrian KTM team and Fabrizio Mioni withdrawing as a mark of respect after Cavandoli's death. Well, Stefan Peter-Hansel on the blue Yamaha, and this man Thierry Mignaldi, the two Frenchmen who've been battling for the overall honours all week. And meanwhile, Jordi Arcarons was in a little bit of trouble as he had problems with his carburetor, and that lost him some time. So Arcarons losing out a little bit in the course of that, and losing out some other time in the course of the accident to Cavandoli. But overall, many of the competitors in the event this year competing strictly as amateurs and out there to have fun, and that really very much the aim of the Tunisian Rally, to combine the amateurs and the professionals in one event that both can enjoy. Certainly a tough event as well, very high temperatures being recorded during the week, and for some of the motorcyclists sometimes very, very difficult at the end of a long stage. Well, as we moved on through the rally, the competitors set off on Friday on the stage around Kasargi Lane. They're seeing some more beautiful dunes, and also seeing a tremendous battle between the Citroen of Hubert Auriol and the Buggy of Jean-Louis Schlesser. This, the other Buggy of the Schlesser team, that of Jutta Kleinschmidt, the lady who's having her first experience of rallying on four wheels, putting in a tremendous performance all week long. The soft sand certainly causing a lot of problems on the Friday stage, and many competitors struggling their way through. We lost a few competitors, and some competitors getting an awful lot of time penalties, not making it through to the checkpoint. But in general, the stage is very well organised, and everyone deciding that the road map was very good, that the organisers have done an excellent job of organising the route through the terrain. But this was yesterday when rally leader Timo Salonen literally came off the track straight over the rocks and split the two radiators right at the front of the Citroen. With only one day to go, the man who'd been leading the event since the prologue section back on Saturday and had been leading all the way through Africa suddenly was in trouble. He came to the finish point, the engine was badly overheating, and as he got to the finish here, he turned the engine off, and that proved to be a disastrous thing to do. The engine wouldn't restart, and they were unable to get out of this finishing zone under their own power, and the finishing zone counts as part of this stage. They picked up a 1 hour penalty. So Salonen, recognising that it was totally his own fault, he really shouldn't have been trying that hard in this late stage in the rally. He had it all sewn up. He had a 14-minute lead over his teammate Pierre Lartigue. So Salonen really throwing it all away, and the team manager Guy Freckelin looking on as the mechanics tried to repair the damaged Citroen. Jean-Louis Schlesser having an exciting time of it as well, in exactly the same place as Timo Salonen, straight off into the gully, but losing as little time as possible, and Schlesser remarkably getting away with it with just a bit of damage to his front wheels and a flattened exhaust pipe. Incredible that Schlesser was lucky, and he certainly related how lucky he was at the end of the stage, and just delighted to be able to make it through without picking up any penalties. Jean-Claude Michelot getting stuck on yesterday's stage just when we thought that everybody was going to be able to find their way through without any problems. Some of the rocky sections catching some people out, waving down one of the other competitors to see whether they could get a tow. Number 244, Jean-Michel Bourdais, enrolled, but the rope isn't strong enough, so unfortunately Michelot remains marooned, and I don't know how Bourdais feels about this. It's all delaying him a little bit, but this is very much the nature of the event. The competitors helping each other through the difficulties, through the tricky terrain, and helping each other. 214, Jean-Pierre Strugo in the standard Nissan. And this man, André Capieux, also having a dramatic time. Rejoin us in just a moment. We're going to have the action from today. Today's 7th special stage saw the competitors heading back towards the coast of Tunisia to the holiday resort of Djerba. Setting off from Douirat, where they finished yesterday, and the motorcyclists getting ready early in the morning for this last link that would see them complete 235 kilometers of special stage, around about 150 miles. So not as long as some of the previous stages. Stefan Peder-Hansel, rally leader on the bikes, looking as though he needs to get out on the machine to wake up a little bit. Not as demanding either this stage as some of the others that they've tackled throughout the course of the week. So everyone hoping for a trouble-free run to Djerba today. So rally leader Stefan Peder-Hansel on the Yamaha, once again looking very, very strong as they set off on this final stage, running alongside the coast, and some beautiful pictures of the competitors as they headed towards Djerba. Peder-Hansel really has put together a superb performance on the rally this year. It's a return for him and for Yamaha after taking nearly a year off from the world of rally raids, and they really have shown the opposition the way to go. Thierry Magnaldi in second place. Magnaldi actually setting the fastest time today by 39 seconds over Stefan Peder-Hansel, but it was never going to be enough to try and take the overall lead. Jordi Arkerons holding on to third place overall. He was in fact second fastest on the stage today. And the lucky strike rider riding for the KTM team for the first time. Very pleased with the performance of the machine and looking forward to future events with the team. Jürgen Meyer, the highest placed German in the event, another KTM rider, so we had KTM second, third and fourth. A good rally for the KTM team, although sadness with that, with the loss of Cavandoli. A group of riders deciding their way to the very final checkpoint. Marcel Pilet leading this little group. And Pilet, 6th fastest today, and finishing in 6th place overall in the rally. Good performance for the man who won the marathon class of the motorcycles for more standard machines, and Pilet, the highly experienced Rally Raid man, in good form once again in Tunisia. So Stefan Peter Hansel heading towards that final checkpoint and heading for his second victory here in Tunisia. We had a word with Stefan at the end of the rally to pick up his feelings. And he said he's very happy to win once again here in Tunisia. It's been a little while since he's had a win, but winning that rally back here in 1990, now repeating that performance. Very happy with the performance of the Yamaha as well. It's only been built up for this event, and it's been excellent, no real problems with it. He had to push quite hard in the midweek and really set the faster times then, and that's really what gave him the advantage when it came to the end. Jürgen Meyer then coming through to the end with an excellent performance in 4th place. And he says, well, it's been a nice rally. He said, today I've really been travelling alone, not with any of the other leaders, but I'm very, very happy with the way it's gone. He said, I'd like to thank the sponsors, everyone who's helped me to get here. I'm basically very content with the rally. So the German in good form, Marcel Pilet making it to the finish then and winning the marathon class. Picking up the congratulations of Gianpaolo Quaglino as well, the man who won the veteran category. This is Marcel Pilet. And just telling us a little about the stages that have been on the rally and talking about the dunes and saying it really has been an excellently organised rally, difficult, demanding, but nevertheless they've managed to get through and really enjoyed the event. This is Eric Belfoy, another veteran who in fact has switched from the world of single-seater racing in the past year to switch to the world of rally raids, and he's been having a good time. He said he lost about half an hour, but he hasn't had too many problems, and he says it's not really all about the winning or the losing that counts for him. Certainly it's really the main thing is getting to the end and finishing the rally. That's really what he wanted to do, and that's what he's achieved, so he's pretty happy with that. Well, arriving at the finish is the only Englishman to make it to the finish. It's Carl Caddick, number 122, and he made it right the way through to the finish, and we had a word with him.
It was quite interesting because after realising that you couldn't use this on a bike, I stopped getting lost so much. You have to walk about 20 yards away from the bike. Because most of the time I was going that way as I should have been going that way. And that was interesting in the dunes as well.
Well, Carl ran on his pretty much standard Kawasaki 650, and he had a catalogue of disasters, including a broken frame, a destroyed airbox, total ignition failure, which meant he had to bump start the bike in the sand dunes. But he managed to finish. He finished 53rd out of the 59 competitors on the motorcycles that made it to the finish. So well done to Carl. He didn't get right near the front, but a great performance nonetheless. So the winners of the rally on the motorcycle: Stefan Peter Hansel, a second win in Tunisia; Thierry Magnaldi for the second year in a row taking second place on the KTM; Jordi Arcarons in third; Jürgen Meyer in fourth position. Rejoin us in just a moment for the action from the cars. been dominant all week, and they were pretty much dominant again today. But it was Pierre Lartigue, the man to come through in the end for Citroen to take victory. And earlier in the week, it certainly didn't look like he would do that. Timo Salonen had been leading all the way through the rally until yesterday's events, and we saw what happened earlier when Timo Salonen just overstepped the mark on those very narrow trails and paid the penalty and losing the victory here in Tunisia. Well, Lartigue really is Mr. Tunisia in some ways now. He's won this event 4 times previously. First time back in 1986 when he was driving a Lada, and then he won it again in 1989 in a Mitsubishi, again in 1990 for Mitsubishi, and then in 92 with Citroen for the first time. Now he takes his second win for Citroen, and he really has put together a splendid performance, not making any mistakes. Early part of the rally, the first day or so, he had a few little difficulties which just set him back from Timo Salonen, but since then he's had a very, very consistent run, and along with his co-driver Michel Perrin, the 36-year-old Frenchman, they have really shown the opposition the way to go. So Timo Salonen having to make do with second place at the end of it all, and no doubt very disappointed with that. He reported that yes, he was pretty annoyed with himself after leading the event so, well, not easily but certainly comfortably until yesterday, and Timo Salonen throwing it all away. But that's racing, as he said afterwards, and really he was just happy that Citroen won the event. For Jean-Louis Schlesser, it's been another good event in the buggy, this brand new buggy with the new engine, the Renault V6 engine, more powerful, and with the 3-speed automatic transmission as well. He must have wondered whether they would be able to get it through to the finish, but through to the finish he certainly did make it. He finished third here last year as well in his other buggy when he was with a co-driver on that occasion. He's been driving solo this time and has done a great job with the navigation as well. He's lost a little bit of time now and then getting to some of the checkpoints, but basically Schlesser has had a pretty trouble-free run. And so to the finish then, as they all join up together, Lartigue, Salonen and Schlesser running towards the finish, and Lartigue heading for his 5th win. Hubert Auriol was actually fastest today by 5 minutes 25 seconds, really setting the standard as he has done for much of the event. But let's have a word with Pierre Lartigue.
On a fait une course fantastique sans problème.
Well, as you can hear, he thought the course was splendid. They had no real problems at all, and he felt that Cyril Neveu had put together an excellent rally on this occasion, and absolutely delighted. Jean-Louis Schlesser also pleased with his 3rd place in the new car. We had a word with the ex-World Sports Car champion, and he's pretty happy with the way that the car performed. He says they put this car together back at home. It's a small team, and really pleased with the way that it has performed over the course of the week. So Schlesser repeating his 3rd place from last year, and obviously delighted with the new car and hoping for better things next time. So here's Hubert Auriol then, the man who was fastest today, and really showing the main opposition, I suppose, who would be Mitsubishi, watching this and seeing how the Citroens are going, that the new Evolution car is very, very quick indeed. The new weight balance on the car has made it even faster, and if it hadn't been for Auriol's problems, he could well have won the event. Jérôme Rivière managed to get to the finish after his problems earlier, and Jutta Kleinschmidt, in her first event on 4 wheels, a superb performance to bring the Schlesser Buggy home in 7th place overall, and no doubt she will be only too pleased to carry on with rally raids on 4 wheels in the future. Well, we had a word with Jutta at the end of it all, and she said, I didn't think I'd ever go so well. I didn't expect to be in the top 10 at the end of the rally. It really is amazing, and the car has performed without any problems, and my co-driver has done a great job as well. Hervé Cotel, her co-driver, very experienced, and he's assisted her and helped her all the way through the rally. Jean-Pierre Fontenay in the Mitsubishi, the standard car, finishing 11th place overall after a 13th fastest time today. And watch this, this is Ali Al-Abdi. And just when you thought the rally was over without any dramas, Ali Al-Abdi nearly having a major role on this final stage. Just about getting away with it, as Sven Quant coming through. Quant taking 10th place in his Mitsubishi in the end. A good performance from him and a consistent run all the way through. And Quant just saying to us, well, he was 2 minutes up on Fontenay yesterday. It's been a bit close today. He lost 1 minute today, but just about managed to hold on to his position. 10th place overall, 1 position ahead of Fontenay. This is Michel Gambillon, number 230, who's been leading the T1 category for quite a few days after Fontenay's problems, and Gambillon with a few troubles today. So the final result for the cars then, Pierre Lartigue, the overall winner by quite a large margin from Timo Salonen. Great result for Citroen, and in terms of the Rally Raid World Cup, they've got themselves a good selection of points to take to the next round. Well, right at the end of the rally, it was change again, because this was Jean-Pierre Strugo watching to see when Michel Gambillon would arrive. Now, these two both in the Dessoud Nissan team. They've been battling for the overall honours in the T1, that's the standard category, and Jean-Pierre Strugo is studying his watch because Michel Gambillon is late arriving. And if he carries on being late arriving, it means that this man is going to take the victory in the T1 category. So that's why he's looking a bit apprehensive, a bit nervous, but the time has passed and he knows that he is now the winner of the T1 category. So he and his co-driver Bernard Anquetil very, very happy. Although their teammates, these two who have been fighting it out for the T1 honours, it's still the victory that Jean-Pierre Strugo wants. So drama right at the very end of the rally, and it turned out to be steering problems for Michel Gambillon that lost him that T1 lead right at the very end. Sad for him, but for Jean-Pierre Strugo, a good result, and it's all within the same team, so not too bad. Klaus Böll, the winner in the truck section with the Mercedes, and he finished in a fine 19th place overall. So the final celebrations on the Tunisian rally, the champagne flowing, and the competitors who've made it all the way back to Duerba, relieved and delighted. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the rally over the past 7 days, and that you'll join us again for the best motorsport action here on Eurosport in the future.